I know you can't see me that well, guys, but the video is not about me today. It's about radios again. But one of the things that we've been having a problem with is, I guess y'all need to see me a little bit. Huh? Let me see what I can do here. Try and pull this up just a tad. Y'all see me now? No, y'all still can't see me. Here I am. Alright, so one of the things we're going to talk about is radios again. Some of the biggest complaints that people are having about ham radios and GMRS radios is range. You know, depending on where you are in the world and what's close to you, what's far away. If you got a heavy wooded area, if you're urban and you're around a bunch of buildings, things like that. They are making some new radios that are a lot stronger, that work well, that penetrate buildings a lot better. Matter of fact, I got one or two of them coming. So when those come, I'm not going to reveal it yet because that's another video. I'm going to show you those radios. My Radioddity, I love it. This is a GPS radio, right? It's a GPS radio, meaning that if you're in the woods or you're walking around, you can set your GPS location on here, and you're able to track another person, or another person can track you. You can send your information to them, things like that via the radio. It's a little primitive. The newer model that I have coming is a hell of a lot better in tracking, sharing information, and so on. But I'm not going to get into it. What we're talking about today is range. So this is the prepper's favorite tool here, the Biofang. This is the UV5, I believe, or this might be the 10. But either way, I think it's the 5. Let me see. Yep, this is the UV5R. I ain't got my good glasses on. This is UV5R 8W, right? So this has a decent range. My wife and I were testing these, and we found that the average is, where you can hear real good, is 2 miles. You get 3 miles, it's kind of faint, and then after that you can hear the person keying, but you cannot make out what they're saying because we're in areas where there are not a whole lot of towers or repeaters and different things like that. Plus we have a whole lot of woods. We have a whole lot of woods in undeveloped area, an area that they're developing, and they're putting up more buildings, more houses, you know, the brick and everything. It's just a lot, you know. So at the end of the day, we found that, okay, what good is it going to do us if we can only get 2 to 3 miles, whatever, right? So now we're going to come into this. We're going to come into what I'm getting ready to show you right now. And this is an antenna that we ordered, or I ordered. It's a radio antenna, and it's made for these, right? And I have different antennas. I would advise you guys, if you're going out to get some antennas and you don't want to get what I'm about to show you in the box, they're making some new telescopic antennas now that have nice frequency range on them, right? So those are the ones that you could, you know, push down, or you could pull them all the way up. You remember like the old radios that you would pull antennas up, and old cell phones where you had to, not cell phones, but home phones where you had to pull the antenna up, and the cordless phone, that's what I mean by telescoping or telescopic type of antenna. It collapses like a telescope, opens up like a telescope. So, but anyway, going into this, and this one is called the Bingfu. course, everything's from China. It's called the Bingfu vehicle antenna. This is for your vehicle. Now, if you look at this antenna here, it's coming out of the box. You get the antenna and you get an adapter. You're gonna find out why you're gonna get the adapter real soon, right? And this antenna is kind of familiar. It looks kind of familiar to some because it's gonna kind of look like the ones that I put on my radio to give me a little bit more extended range. And I'm saying continue to buy those. Those are great. Especially if you get a setup like this. You want to have good tracking range and distance in your vehicle. So hopefully, you know, we're going to test these out. This hasn't been tested. I'm just opening it out the box. I'm just trying to let you guys know. When I do the test, I'm probably going to talk about the test like we did just now. Me and my wife testing the other radios. When I do the next radio review with the new radio I'm getting, our radios that we're getting. So at the end of the day, I'll let you know how this antenna worked out. But you get the magnetic base. You get the magnetic base. You see it's still in the plastic. Let's open it up. Now remember, with these, you can get longer cables. This is a cable. I believe this cable came standard at 25 feet. So about 25-foot cord. So wherever you want to put it in your vehicle. You can get extension cables for this. Absolutely, you can extend them out. It has a magnetic base that you could put on your vehicle. And it has a piece of felt here to keep the magnet, because anybody who's had refrigerator souvenirs and things like that, magnetic can openers and things like that you put on your refrigerator, and you looked around and you're like, wow, you know, you get ready to clean them and you see where they ate away at the metal, left a rust mark or an outline or something that you cannot clean away, it will not go away, or it's faded the paint on your stainless steel. These will absolutely do it on your vehicle. So I hear a lot of complaints about magnetic mounts on the vehicle. Well, one, most good old boys drive old enough trucks where they don't really give a damn if they mark them up or not. But if you're that person that really cares, the felt is what protects you. If this felt wears off, you can always get a piece of cloth. Some type of cloth, or go to the fabric store, get you some more felt. Get you felt, glue it on here, cut off the excess of it, which you can obviously see. That's what they did here. They put felt on and just cut the excess off, and then put it back on your vehicle. If you're in a pinch, you got a rag, a lightweight rag, or a towel or something like that. Put the towel up there, put the mount up there, and move on if you don't want to scratch up your vehicle. I advise everybody, do not leave these on the vehicle, rain or shine, 24/7, 365 days a year, because you're asking for it to eat away at your vehicle. You're asking for all the material. It's in the elements, y'all. And I see so many people complain in comments about, oh, it scarred up my car, and I left a round mark on my car. And, I had it on there for 6 months, 8 months, and it's messed up my car. I got 2 magnetic mounts. I have one for my CB, and remember, these are made for ham radio only, and then I have a mount that is made for CB radio only, right? There's a difference. But they do give you a type of connector that you can actually hook it into a ham radio base, and or it would work going into the back of a CB, just from the fitting here, the connector. This is why they send you, if I can get it out of here, the adapter. I'm gonna video in the next video, or the short video I'm gonna do some tests with it to see, I'm gonna do some test and gain and see what it does, and range and stuff like that, and show you what those numbers are. For you all that are real techie into this and want to get into, that part of it. This is really just for layman's terms for people who just want to have an idea what to do. But this is the adapter. This little yellow cap comes off. And you see here, see my radio here on the radiotti, you should be able to screw this right in. So this would work. So basically, all it's doing is replacing your antenna like this with a stronger antenna that has more range. That's all. And this adapter allows you to take this 25-foot cord, put it in here, and put this antenna on your base, which is what we're going to do. And it has an Allen key. It came with an Allen key, but it also has some other interesting features that we're going to get into in a second. If I can get it out of here. Alright, here's the antenna. I'm trying to see if it mark the hertz or anything on here. Normally they do. They're usually in the inside or outside, but anyway, this antenna screws into this base like so, right? But I forgot my table was metal, so as soon as I set it down on my glass table, it like grabbed it real hard. So let me set that here for a second, because I don't want to break the glass. Alright. They send you these little omnidirectional antennas, right? This is the kit. You guys can see that. So looks like it's how many? We got 6. We got 6 of these, right? So each one of these, there's little holes here on the side. Can you see that hole? Each one of these goes into that hole, or into one of those holes. Y'all gotta forgive me. I'm a little drained today, guys. I ain't 100%. Went to the health club, ate a nice meal. It's nice and cool out, and all that good stuff. And you know how it is after you ate something and you're kind of like, yeah, man, you get in that zone, right? So I'm putting these in. Oh, so basically we got extras. So this only holds the 3. And you get 3 extras. So that's how it would look, just like that. Now, obviously, you have to attach this to the base. So you're going to take this end. That's going to fit into that end of the base. I'm trying to get the camera to work for me, but there you go. I'll screw in like so. Just a little bit of slight pressure and just screw. Because you want it to get in there good. So just tighten these up. Now, you got this will help bring in more of a stronger signal for you. This one is going to, see that? Same kind of setup. It's going to go here. Right? So that's how it would look on top of your vehicle. Now, cool thing is, and again, I'm keeping this very simple, as they say, the KISS method, keeping it simple, stupid. Because we don't have a lot of radio scholars on here and guys that are very super hyper techie and into the numbers. I'm finding with our community and the people that follow me, they like the basic, hey man, just give me the meat and potatoes of it, and does it work, does it not work, you know. For you guys that want to get more into the numbers, which I am going to do those, I'm going to get more into the numbers and things like that. But you know, you can go to other channels and they'll sit down all day and key up and show you numbers and ranges and all of that and things like that, and you know, pull out the scales and the whole nine, you know. But for my community, they just want to know the basics. So there you go. So remember, we just put the adapter on there, and see that familiar piece again? You're gonna connect these two. And these work with different radio models, ham and GMRS. Now they do have some antennas that just strictly specify GMRS. And you can only allegedly use them with GMRS, which I think you could probably use them with more. So let's turn this on. We're going to turn on the radiality now. You know what? No, we're not. You know why? Because I grabbed the one that I left on and didn't charge it back up. So we're going to switch over, which is good because now we can see if it's going to fit the Baofeng, right? A Bufang, however you want to pronounce it. Baofeng, Bufang. Everybody pronounces it different. You know, so we're going to take the Baofeng radio's antenna off. See? And we're going to attach this one. Hopefully it will fit. And it does. So if you have your radio, your Baofeng or your emergency radio in your vehicle, you know, your ham or whatever, this will get you more range. This will get you more distance. You figure if your average antenna gets you anywhere between 2 to 4, 2 to 5, 2 to 3, this antenna will boost you a lot further in hertz. It's outside of your vehicle. And remember, with any antenna, the higher it is, the better the reception. So now we should be able to double, triple our distance. So maybe from, and I can't wait to try these out with the wife to see, you know, how it's going to come out. But this is how it looks, and all of that. And let's see.
Channel mode.
So we're in channel mode, which means that right now we're in GMRS mode. Channel mode is typically GMRS mode. Frequency mode is typically your ham radio, right? So right now, you guys can see that. Right now, this is how the setup would look in your vehicle. You could do this military style if you got a holster or a carrier to carry this in, and you hook it there, and you want to just drop the antenna in the back of your backpack or something like that and walk with it like that. And you have all these, you know, you just got to get you some kind of cable management, but you can carry it like that. If you're out in the woods, this is another quick setup. Put it on a bench. You could put it in your RV, on your trailer, on the back of your pickup. If you got some paracord or some, you know, a setup where you can just, you know, tie it off on a tree somewhere, you know, where you can get a little bit more distance. If you can get it up on a tree or a branch or something like that, you know, it's a cool thing to have, man. And that's really all I wanted to bring to you right now. In the video, as you go back and watch it, I'll try and put in the hertz and all of that kind of stuff. If you're interested in this, rather than me just posting the link, I want you to hit me up and tell me that you're interested in the antenna. You know, the antenna retailed at I think it was 25, 30 bucks, something well, closer to 30 bucks. There are some a little bit more expensive. There are some, that are made by different makers and stuff like that. I'm still a CB fan. I still tell you guys, get a CB if you can. Always have a CB radio. I keep one in my vehicle. If you can afford the base one, get your small one, small handheld one you can carry around that's rechargeable. Keep you a charging bank, something to recharge your devices with. Some kind of power bank or something like that. Just even if you just get a small one, just to keep these charged up. Because what I like about this one versus this one, the Radiolity versus the Biofang is, this one can take a USB-C right in the back, and I think I showed you that in my last radio review of this. And you could just plug this into your car, put your little, if you got a USB port in your vehicle or devices that take, USB to USB-C, plug it back here and you're charging. This has to have a base. It has to have a cradle to charge. The newer ones that they're getting ready to come out with, or they have out now, you see the little charging pins here. The charging pins are more in the front, more like the Motorola style. And they also are USB and USB-C chargeable. And that is another plus that I'm looking forward to, So at the end of the day, these, you're going to have some way of plugging up your base station, in an outlet and charging it up. Not like my truck has one in the rear of the truck. I can plug it up in the rear of the truck, or in the inside of the truck, and then I have multiple ways to charge things like this. So if I need an outlet, I got one, that I could plug stuff into. But the convenience of the USB and USB-C is awesome, because you can carry a little power bank in your bag or on your hip or in your plate carrier or your vest or whatever, and plug into this and you good to go. Put it on power save mode, and a lot of the new ones now are having power save mode, and you could go from 5 watts to 10 watts, high. Basically you can go low, medium, high in power. So a lot, they're getting better. It's just, radios is just like cell phones, man. Soon as you think you got the best radio and you're on top of the world, give it about 6 months and somebody's gonna come out with something better. And if you're into radios and into communication devices like this, you're going to continue to buy them and collect them, and utilize them. So, it never ends. At one point we thought these were the beginning and the end, and they've stepped up their game on these. Radiolity has stepped up their game on these. So just when you thought, hey, this one was great, they already got one that's better. Motorola, the same way. So that is the basic concept of this. I will post the name of this unit and where you can get it and all that. I don't want this video to go too long, but I know I've been promising you guys video. We are in the process of planning our camping trips and stuff for October. If you guys are in the Alabama, Georgia, North Carolina, Tennessee area and you want to camp with us, inbox me, and you can go out camping with us on the Collectively Sustainable group. If you want to do a soft camp and you've never camped before, we allow that on our property, where if you're a first-time camper, you come out on our property, you camp, we show you how to set up your tent, show you how to use your gear, and then the next time we go and you get to spend the night. Basically all you're doing is backyard camping. You're in our backyard and you're camping, and when we get ready to go out and do something different the next time, you're familiar with how to set your gear up, you're familiar with how certain things work. You got a community with you that's working with you, showing you things, and we just take you out and say, hey, all right, we're out here in the woods, we're still together, you're going to do the same thing you did in the backyard, the same exact way, and we're still here to help you. So if you guys are interested in that, or if you're interested more in this antenna and things like that, I got you. Just comment and I will put it in the comments, or I'll send it to you, or inbox it to you, or however you want me to do it, because these people aren't paying me, and I'd rather do it that way. You know, I guess it's apples and oranges, you know, tomato, however I do it. But either way, man, thanks. Please like, share, and subscribe. I tried to make this as simple and as basic as possible, not overwhelming you with a lot of tech talk and numbers and all that kind of stuff. Again, if you guys are looking for that, there are plenty of other channels to do that. I will post some things, and on the next video I will go over some numbers. So because I'm excited to see how this is going to work, so I can't wait to put my wife in a vehicle, or put me in a vehicle, and see how well this translates. So stay tuned if you want to know. But from what I read in the reviews on this, everybody's praising it. You only had a few people complaining about it, and it wasn't about the reception or the distance. It was just about, oh, it messed up my vehicle, or, oh, the felt came off, or something like that. You know, that was pretty much it. But all right, guys, thanks.